Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So last episode we took on the Chicago Blackhawks in the second round, and we managed to beat them, and we're off to the conference finals for the first time since we went to the Cup finals quite a few years back against the Ottawa Senators. Hopefully we could win this year in this conference finals and get to the Cup finals. Winner of this series will face either Detroit or the Washington Capitals, so it should be a tough series regardless on who ends up facing who. But anyways, in that second round against the Blackhawks, it was a pretty easy series in a sense. Like, it was better than I expected because we did run into a goaltender that I thought was really good because his numbers were really good in the playoffs. But then we won 5-3, 4-3 in the first two games. We lost one game in OT, then we had a 3-2 win and a 6-3 victory to close out the series. So our offense was still really good, and our top guns have still been producing, and we've had some good depth scoring. So that's also really good. And now we're going to be taking on the Kraken here in the conference finals, which we've never faced them before. Really hoping that we could get to our first Stanley Cup in like a long time, like I said. So, and it'd be really nice for this team to actually win a Stanley Cup. Now it's kind of scary as the Kraken went 43-25-14 in the regular season, so their overall rating wasn't really that great. And then they were 3-5-2 in their last 10 games going into the playoffs, so that's also not that great. So I'm kind of scared that they're more of a cheese team than anything, but you never know. I will show you guys their lineup again. They do have a couple of former players of ours, but they also do have an injury to one of their top centers. Like, we have an injury still to Shishkinov, but I think he will return probably shortly. But you can see they still have a really good forward core. They did acquire, I believe, Sillinger at the trade deadline, and yeah, this forward core just looks really good. Defense also looks pretty good. As you can see, it does have a former defenseman here in Keegan Riley, who was with us last year, but we dealt him away when we acquired Sebastian Aho. And then Braden Schneider is also here on the defensive core, so some familiar faces. Their goaltending is not too bad either, and then as you can see, depth-wise, they have Zaka and Cal Foote, but there is the injury to Jared McCann, which is a pretty big loss, I'd say. But their center depth still looks really good without him. Like, imagine if he was there, you'd literally have like 4 centers that are all 85 and above. So I'm glad that McCann's out for this round and beyond, and hopefully we could take advantage of that and get ourselves to that Cup finals. So there is that. Let me show you guys our lineup right now. We did have a lot of other players in our lineup in the last round, but we did have players come back from injury right at the end of last episode. So Pettersson's going to get to play his first playoff games in this conference finals, which is kind of funny because Hornquist has been running it. And then also Galiev has been playing as our goalie as well. He's going to more likely go back down to the AHL once Shishkinov is back from injury, because we can't use him as depth that way. And then also, yeah, basically our team looks like this now. It's good to see Geeky back in the lineup. Hopefully he could get that top line continuing to produce, because Byfield really stepped up in his absence in that second round especially. So if Geeky could do what he was doing, then this team is in business. And more likely Gallant's going to be the one that's get taken out once Shishkinov returns to our lineup, and then Redmond's down back to the fourth line, that type of thing. But for now, our team looks pretty good. Let's see what happens in this conference finals, see if we can get to that Cup finals again. I've been waiting for this for a long time for our team to be good in the playoffs. It's just now if we could actually win 8 more games. So let's see what happens here. Game number 1 on home ice in Arizona as we face the Kraken. First period, 1-1, I'll take that. Brust opens the scoring. I believe that's the guy on a third line, which is interesting. And then Agostino scores to make it a 1-1 game. Hopefully Pettersson can play good. If he doesn't, that's not great. He did play really good last year in the playoffs, so I'm expecting him to play a little bit better again this year. But if he does not play good in the playoffs, then that's a little bit questionable, and maybe we'd have to run with Hornquist again. I don't know. But hopefully Pettersson could play good, and hopefully he doesn't get re-injured, that type of thing. Shots are 13-12 in favor of us. It's a 1-1 game. Second period. We're up 3-1. Let's go. Agostino with a natural hat trick. Let's go. In the first 2 rounds, he was picking up more assists than goals, but I'm pretty sure he had a goal in the last game that we played, and now he's got 3 goals in this game. Didn't expect to see a natural hat trick here. Shots are 24-22 in favor of us. Let's get some insurance and lock this one down. But yeah, good performance from, I'm pretty sure, our captain. Sasaki scores his first goal in the playoffs to make it a 4-1 game. Let's go. But yeah, the depth scoring on this team has been pretty good. And then Stankoven makes it 4-2. Let's continue to lock this one down. Power play opportunity late. No goals. Final few minutes, and we are going to lock this down as Sasaki picks up his second of the night on the empty net. So only 2 goal scorers on our team in that game, but we do win 5-2 in Pettersson's first game back in the playoffs. And Geeky picked up a lot of assists in his first game back, so that's also really good. So Agostino from Geeky and Chychrun, Agostino from Michkov and Geeky, Agostino from Michkov and Chychrun, Sasaki from Byfield Naho, and Sasaki from Sapolvyov and Gallant. But yeah, Geeky picks up 2 assists in his first game back, and a solid performance as well from Pettersson. So those 2 guys making an impact right away. You love to see that. 3 stars of the game. Agostino obviously the first star with that natural hat trick. Sasaki the second star, and Pettersson gets third star. Nice. So there you go. That is our first game of this conference finals. We're up 1-0 in the series. We just had a nice 5-2 win. And Shishkinov is back, which means, yep, Galiev is getting sent down, which is kind of unfortunate because he was a very good goalie when he did play, but we don't need a depth goalie in the NHL right now. There is a good chance that Galiev could take over as the backup next season. So there is our goaltending tandem now. Shishkinov is apparently back. He's not full health yet, but he will be for game 2, so we will readjust our lines, which means taking out Gallant, which is kind of sad because he was okay. But it's good to have depth in the playoffs, and sometimes you need to take out those guys that are actually the depth pieces. I'm not going to change our defensive core right now because those changes actually that I made a couple episodes ago or a couple games ago seem to have helped our team out a little bit. So there you go. There is that, and he is not back to full health, I think, yet. Or is he back to full health? Let me take a look if Shishkinov's back to full health, because I hope he doesn't get re-injured. No, he is not back to full health. That's a bit scary. But we will keep him in the lineup, just hope that he doesn't get re-injured. 20 points in 13 games from Agostino. He's having a year. Washington's up 1-0 on Detroit. Okay, here we go. Game number 2. It's a back-to-back situation, which is kind of weird. On home ice, can we take a 2-0 series lead? Headed to Seattle. First period, scoreless. I'll take that. Shots are 16-11 in favor of us, so a lot of shots in that first period, but very good goaltending from both goalies so far. Second period, we're down 1-0. That's not good. Timo Meier scores on Pettersson. We're being outshot now 32-21 after only 2 periods. Yikes. We need to limit their chances a little bit more. I mean, Pettersson's been playing strong so far, but yeah, we don't want to be giving up 32 shots through 2 periods. That is a no-fly zone. Can we tie this game up in the 3rd period? Come on, boys. Shelley, Agostino. I was almost going to say Farinacci, but he hasn't been with us for the last few years. Hey, Michkov, there's somebody that I want to score. 1-1 game. Let's go. Can we get the lead? Can we get the lead? Final 5 minutes of this 3rd period. And it looks like we are going to another overtime situation this playoff run. Shots are 40-39 in favor of the Kraken, so we must have outshot them pretty bad in that 3rd period. It's a 1-1 game. Both goalies have been strong so far. Can we get the OT winner? Who do I want to call upon? I don't really know. Shelley's been good in OT though, so who knows. Come on, boys. Let's get that OT winner. Who wants to score it? Who wants to score it? Maybe Jake Chychrun. He's been with us since the beginning. Maybe Sasaki. There's a goal. It's going to be Geeky. Let's go. Geeky returns from injury, and he's been a GOAT in the first 2 games. 2 assists in game 1, and he's got a game winner in game 2. We outshot them 49-45 in that game. Jeez. And yeah, we badly outshot them in that 3rd period and in overtime 10-5. So we came on when it needed to happen. They won more faceoffs than us, which is kind of a surprise. But Michkov from Lambos and Geeky from Agostino. So 4 points in 2 games from Connor Geeky. Love to see that. I wasn't expecting our injury guys to come back right away and make an impact, but they have done that. Pettersson was fantastic in that game as well. How was Shishkinov? He played 20 minutes, only had 2 shots, but he was an even 0. 5 hits in that game too. Not bad. There's the 3 stars. Pettersson getting 1st star, of course. Dwyer the 2nd star, because props to that guy. He was also actually really good. And Geeky gets 3rd star. Loving it so far. We're 2 wins away from going to the Cup Finals. We just got to win some games in Seattle if we can. And Shishkov's full health now, which is good. I should put Galiev in the lineup, I guess, down there in Tucson if they're still playing, which they're down 0-3. Or actually, no, they're not playing. They got eliminated, never mind. Okay, that's okay. Because I was going to throw them back into the lineup if the AHL team was still playing, but they are not, so... Not going to make any line changes since we're up 2-0. Let's see if we can take a 3-0 series lead on the Kraken. Because that would be really nice if we could do that. Come on, boys. Let's keep it up. First period. Down 1-0. I guess I'll take it. We're being outshot 14-5. So Pettersson has still been like locked in so far. But not a good performance in that opening period for our offense. Only 5 shots in 20 minutes. It's like a shot every 4 minutes. Healy gets their only goal, and it was a late one. So it was almost an even first period, but it is what it is. Second period, we're down 3-0. That's not great. Pettersson's having his worst game of the playoffs so far. Sillinger and Raquel score. We're down 3-0 going into the third. Let's just get something to get us going into next game potentially if possible, or come back if we can. Michkov makes it 3-1. Definitely will take that. Penalty kill opportunity. We kill it off. Power play for us. We don't get anything going though. Yeah, hopefully we could just bounce back from this game. Because, yeah, we definitely need to maybe play a little bit better offensively. The last 2 games have been a little bit quiet in terms of that, but it is what it is. So we lose 3-1, and it's now at 2-1 series lead for us. Our only goal coming from Michkov, from Aho, and Chychrun. So no points from Geeky in that one. And I guess not a great performance from Pettersson since he didn't get a 3-star. Yeah, he was not great, really, but maybe he'll bounce back. I don't blame him for not being super consistent out of the gate, though, because his injury was a concussion, so he might be a lot fully there mentally right now. So let's go to our lines. Do we want to make any changes to try to get the offense going a little bit more? Let's go Byfield back to the top line, because he was good when he played there, and we'll go Geeky to the second line, just for something small. And yeah, I'm going to still keep with Pettersson, obviously, because he's been actually really good so far. And yeah, the rest of this is going to stay the same. We just need to find a way to get our goals scoring. Actually, let me go to edit lines. Did our power play lines change when guys came back from injury? Yeah, they did. Okay, so we'll move Geeky back to the top unit. And we will take Shelly back down to the second unit, because that's what we did originally. And yeah, that's what we'll do. So yeah, Shelly's back down to the second unit. Aho is going to be playing on the wing. Geeky's going to be playing on the first center now. And I think that's what we're going to be running with. Yeah, that's what we're going to be running with. Some changes to our power play line. See if that helps out the offense a little bit. Because if we could win this game, we could have a 3-1 series lead, which would be nice. So here we go. Game number 4 in Seattle. Let's see if we could win on the road. Come on, boys. First period. We're up 1-0. Let's go. Sebastian Aho scores on Dwyer. Rouched him 14-10, so pretty good opening period, defensively and offensively, I guess you could say. Can we get some more insurance, though, in the second, please? Second period, 3-0, let's go. Byfield and Shelly, the second line scoring. I love that. Shots are 24-17 in favor of us. We're up 3-0. Can we lock this one down here and take a 3-1 series lead on the Kraken in the conference finals? Come on, boys. Lock it down. It's been a good game so far, though. But yeah, I'm loving that Pettersson's been playing good since returning from injury, because a few years ago I was not sold on him, and now I'm kind of sold on him if he has a good team in front of him. So, and Radish breaks his shutout. Hornquist is actually in net now, so never mind. I don't know why Hornquist is in net. Hopefully Pettersson didn't re-aggravate that concussion. DeMaio made it 4-1, and that is your final, as we're now up 3-1 in the conference finals, 1 win away from the cup finals. So Aho from Geeky, Shelly from Bentley and McGillis, and then Byfield from Michkov, DeMaio from Bentley, or Byfield and Tukinen. Not too bad. 3 stars, Byfield the first star, Shelly the second star, and DeMaio the third. What happened to Pettersson? He only played 20 minutes and didn't allow a single goal. Hornquist came in and played pretty solid, but did allow 1 goal. But yeah, I'm kind of concerned. Hopefully Pettersson did not get re-injured there. Did he get re-injured? He did not. Okay, good. That is good news. I don't know why he only played 11 minutes, but at least he's back again for the next game. Let me just make sure our lines are good and ready to go for a Game 5. This episode is probably going to be pretty short if we end up winning the series. But yeah, Pettersson has been locked in at almost a 950 save percentage so far. But then again, this team is really deep in front of them, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I love that Shelley's actually doing stuff this year. 9 goals in 16 playoff games. And then yeah, that top line has been really good. Good to see Byfield scoring. Good to see Geekie picking up points since returning from his injury. Shishkinov still has nothing in 4 games, which is kind of questionable, but I'm not going to change anything with that. Okay, so that is good. Can we close out the series and go to the Cup Finals for the second time? Let's see what happens here, boys. Can we do this? We have 3 chances to do it. First period, 1-0 us. Let's go. It's Geekie again. Let's go. Loving that Geekie returned from injury and is producing. Because Geekie was one of these players a few years ago as well that wasn't really doing much in the playoffs, but now that he's getting more of an opportunity since we got rid of Sharon Govich, he's kind of taken it and ran with it, I think. So that's pretty good. Shots are 13-6 in favor of us. We're up 1-0. Second period, still 1-0 us. So a very defensive game again from this team. Not a lot of offense, but we're outshooting 26-15. Can we get some insurance here and lock this one down? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Lock it down. Penalty kill. It's a long penalty kill. We managed to kill it off. And then Agostino scores a power play goal. Is that the goose egg to knock this one down? 3-0 Geekie scores again. We're going to the Cup Finals, guys. We're going to the Cup Finals. Finally, let's go. For the first time in a long time since we faced Connor Bedard in the Ottawa Senators, we're going back to the Cup Finals. Oh boy, with a 3-0 shutout from Pettersson. Let's go. So Geekie from Aho and Shelley, Agostino from Aho and Chickern, and Geekie from Aho and Shelley. So very good stuff from that second line. 3 assists from Aho, 2 goals from Geekie, 2 assists from Shelley. Everything is working out really well so far this playoff run. We've fought off a lot of adversity with all the injuries we've had, and the guys that have been injured have came back and done a very good job so far, I'd say. Geekie gets first star, Pettersson the second star, and Aho to third. We also got to give a shout out though to Galiev for helping us out in round 1 and round 2 a bit to get us into the situation. So we are going to the Cup Finals. We don't know who against yet, but let's take a look at our player stats through 3 rounds. And then we're going to take a look at who we're going up against for the Stanley Cup. We need 4 more wins. We can do this, boys. We can do this. Aho, 19 points in 17 games. Byfield, 12 points in 17 games. Geekie, 7 points in 5 games. He's been awesome since coming back. I love that. He almost has more points than Byfield in way less games. Sopolyov has also been a very good player for us in the playoff run. 7 points in 17 games. And he only had 23 in the regular season. Bentley, 6 points and -6. Not really sold on Bentley's play still so far. He is signed for 1 more season after this too, but he is a good fit for that third line. Wolf, 2 points in 12 games, not too bad. Agostino, 22 points in 17 games, a +14. Unbelievable. 4 power play points, so he's literally been still over point per game even with non-power play points. Only 3 points in 17 games from McGillis, but he's a +2. Shishkinov, well, nothing still in 5 games. Hopefully he gets it on in the Cup Finals. Michkov has been really good, 20 points. Only 8 goals so far, which is still kind of uncharacteristic of him. He's up to a 97. But last year he had 7 goals in 7 games. This year he's picking up more assists than anything. But at least he's still living up to his contract for sure. Shelley's been really good, 14 points, 17 games. Redmond, 9 points. Gallagher, 6. Gallant, 5 as a depth option. Chikrin, 13 points and a +12. DeMaio's an even 0, but 5 points is not too bad. Sasaki's been good, +10. Yeah, literally everything's working out really well so far. And then, yeah, Pettersson has been elite. 956 in a 133 so far through 5 games. Hornquist obviously still has more wins because he was playing with Pettersson out, but pretty good all-around stats. I love it. Good offense, good defense. And, yeah, Bentley's our only really badly minus player on the team. So, no problems so far with this team, I think. Who are we facing for the Stanley Cup is the question. Last time it was Connor Bedard in the Ottawa Senators. This time around, it is going to be... Who is it going to be? The Detroit Red Wings, of course. It's going to be the team that I had as my last franchise mode series that also had similar problems to this Yotes team that got knocked out so many times in round 1. But we are going to be taking on Detroit, who went 43-34-5 in the regular season, and we're 5-5-0 in their last 10 games going into the playoffs. So maybe a cheese team, who knows? Let's see what their roster looks like, and then we'll take a look at their stats in the regular season and playoffs, and that'll be it for this episode. So, yeah, this is a good-looking team, but it does have a lot of weaknesses as well. First line, Felipe Avery, Hunter Boyce, and Danny Zhilikin. Boyce is a goal-scoring machine. He had 63 in the regular season. He's got a lot of points so far in the playoffs. That is a good top line. Second line has Oleg Shishkinov, so we could say the brother of our Shishkinov maybe, and Comtois and Jocelyn, who's a very young top 6 forward. I don't know why he's playing, maybe because of his offensive stats. Third line, Arttu Ruotsalainen. Dylan Larkin is still kicking around at 35 in Detroit, so that's kind of neat. And Michael Rasmussen. So overall, as top 9, I'd say it's pretty good, except for maybe having Ruotsalainen and Jocelyn up there. And in the fourth line of Adam Beckman, Justin Almeida, who I believe, didn't we play him a few years ago in the playoffs? I feel like we played him at one point. I could be completely wrong with that. Maybe I played him in Houston. I don't remember. Jonathan Gruden is also down there on the fourth line. So yeah, that forward core is pretty legit. A little bit of holes down here on the right-hand side, but everywhere else is pretty good. And then defensively, they're pretty much the same type of thing. Wade Brooks and Nils Lundqvist is a pretty good top 2 pairing. Zach Whitecloud's a little bit weak to have there with Alex Romanov, but still it's not that bad. And then Jonas Mayers and Tuomas Hyvänen on that top 6. Interesting. Goalie-wise, they have Michael DiPietro at an 83 and Capo Kakinen, so 2 veteran goalies. And depth-wise, they have Victor Upshall, Trent Frederick is there, and Bob LaRose is there. Are you kidding me? Bob LaRose. He was with us for 2 years. I basically replaced him with Sebastian Aho. He's only played 5 games with them in the regular season and none in the playoffs. And yeah, he's dropping off a cliff because he's barely getting any ice time. Wow. He's on a decent contract too, but really sucks to see him just scratched. But at least that means we probably won't have to see him play against us. But interesting seeing a former player of ours from only last season getting to the Cup Finals. Let's take a look at their stats throughout the regular season and the playoffs, and then that'll be it for this episode. So let's go by entire league, and let's take actually not by entire league. I guess we could go just to the Eastern Conference. They were the worst team that made it in the playoffs in the East, almost except for the Montreal Canadiens. Yikes, that's kind of scary. Goals for per game, they scored 2.99, as opposed to us, who scored 3.72. We're definitely way better offensively than they are. At least in terms of the regular season, I'd say. Where's the Atlantic? Oh, there it is. They also scored allowed 3.01. It's hard to compare the two of these teams since the divisions. We are in the Central, 278. Yeah, they're a really weird-looking team in terms of stats in the regular season. 19.5% on the power play. That's pretty solid. Looks like an 80.6% on the penalty kill. Yeah, I'm kind of scared that they might actually be a little bit of a cheese team in terms of how they simulate. How has their playoff numbers been? Let's go to entire league, and let's just sort by wins, since we're the only 2 teams with 12 wins. Same record, same goals for. We're a little bit better defensively. They have a little bit better power play, and they have a little bit better penalty kill. So their special teams have been better pretty much, and when we've just been a little bit better in terms of playing defensively 5-on-5. So a little bit more of an even series than it seems, which is interesting. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Detroit Red Wings as we look to win 4 more games and win our first ever Stanley Cup of this series. So let me guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.